Hey guys, check this out. Kia have given me the key to this, the all-new Kia EV9. Now we're gonna do a detailed walk around. I'm gonna share with you all the features of this car. This one here is almost production spec. It's gonna be landing here later in the year, but I'm gonna show you everything that you will be getting in the new Kia EV9, their most expensive, most luxurious car to date. We don't know pricing yet, but this thing will start at about 100,000 Australian dollars, so it's not gonna be cheap. And you'll be getting about 3 different grades: rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. This one here is top of the range, naturally. The GT line, it will come with all-wheel drive and an almost 100 kilowatt hour battery, which you will need because this thing is huge. It's almost 3 tons and it's 7 seats. So today I'm gonna take you for an exterior tour of the Kia EV9. We're also gonna check out its practicality. We're gonna talk about its specs that we know so far, and we're gonna check out the interior as well because it's pretty special. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is pretty special. I love the way the EV9 looks. I think you can really overstyle a car, or you could just completely do it in injustice. And this is like the perfect balance. Check this out. I love the daytime running lights here. Now, Kia are famous for their Tiger Nose grille. I think this is like the Tiger Digital grille, or whatever the hell their marketing department calls it. Whatever it is, it's very cool. It's very flat as well. This thing has a very low drag coefficient, even though it's a giant boxy SUV. I love these LED lights here. They're also super bright, which will be great for the Australian roads. You're gonna notice all of this down here is all blocked up currently. It's got active aero that can open and close depending on if it needs to cool the battery, or go to the dual HVAC systems or aircon systems, because it's got one for the rear, independent from the front. It's crazy tech. You've also got, of course, the Kia badge here, and I love this matte blue paint as well. I'm curious though, what do you guys think? Can you let me know down in the comment section? What do you think of the looks of the Kia EV9? Actually, maybe hold that thought. Wait till you see the back. Now, coming to the side of the EV9, you're gonna notice that this thing is massive. It is the biggest Kia ever made. That's a passenger vehicle anyway. I mean, look at it. It's enormous. It's very boxy. It's very Defender-y-esque. It's very in vogue. I love this though. Check out these wheels here. They've got this really cool, I don't know what to call them, but they give me moon landing vibes, if that ever happened. So yeah, a lot of aero there. It's pretty damn cool. They're massive though, 21-inch wheels. I did speak to their head of engineering, Graham. Good guy, Graham. And he said that it rides pretty damn well. And frankly, I trust him because they do a lot of really intense local tuning for the Australian market. You've got piano black plastic running around, which is an interesting design choice because on the interior, it always scratches. So I can't imagine what it's like on the exterior, but hey, time will tell. You've got these really cool mirror cameras. It's very cool. Don't know if they're completely necessary, but they do give that EV aesthetic. You've also got a little camera down there for the 360 camera, which is pretty cool. You've also got these pop-out door handles. That's pretty damn cool. Again, more of that plastic down the bottom. Really don't know how that one's gonna fare. You've got these massive windows and they've got good privacy glass too. I also love this. Families, eat your heart out. Check this out. That's a 90-degree opening door, almost, which is really good for loading up your kids. You've got these roof rails up here too, and again, I really love the boxy design. It's also got a massive wheelbase. It's about 30 centimeters longer than a Kia Sorento, despite being just a bit bigger, and that really does benefit the interior space. The other thing I really like. Now, this comes in 2 battery variants. One of the batteries is just under 100 kilowatt hours. The other one is just under 80 kilowatt hours. I'm gonna suspect that most people are gonna wanna go for that 100 kilowatt because this thing is a pretty big EV. And the claimed WLTP for this GT line with all-wheel drive is close to 500 kilometers, which is actually quite impressive for such a big car, but we'll have to see in real-world testing, so make sure you subscribe for that. But you do have your little charge port here. I love how it opens up automatically. You've got AC and DC charging. This thing has one of the fastest DC chargers. It's about 350 kilowatt, which will get you to like 0 to 80% in something stupid under 20 minutes, I believe. So that's really impressive if you can find one of those chargers. It's also got vehicle to load. You can actually use the battery to run devices like a portable barbecue. I don't know, do whatever you have, whatever's electric, whatever vibrates, you can put in there. Let's check out the back. Now, coming to the tushy of the Kia EV9, it's a really good looking EV. They haven't like ruined the design, which kind of always think a car manufacturer might do when it comes to futuristic car. I love these tail lights. Got a really cool 3D effect, huge third brake light, got a weirdly offset reverse camera. At least I assume it's your reverse camera. Oh no, it's not. That's just another camera. There's a camera there. Got no idea what that camera does. Kia badge there. You've also got some pretty good looking plastics down here. Again, it's just that black plastic, of course. EV9 badge there too. The question everyone wants to know is what can it fit inside of its bum? So let's take a look at that. Power tailgate, which is always pretty expected at this price point. You get so much room in the back, and that is really impressive. I don't think I have seen so much boot space behind a third row in really any car. It's quite surprising. Here we have our provided charger cable, so that's always good to see. You do have a little bit of underfloor storage, although admittedly not very much, and that's because this is a skateboard configuration, i.e. batteries down in the floor, you've got wheels at each corner. You can really easily drop the third row. You just press a couple of buttons. The headrests drop as well, so that's pretty good to see. I just love smart engineering like that. You can also drop these down, boop, boop, and then you just get so much space. You could pretty much lie down in the back of this thing. It is really, really impressive. Not to mention, you do get a household socket there, which means that you can do that vehicle to load stuff. You've also got a release here if you want to close the boot, I suppose, and a 12-volt socket. Let's check out the interior. Okay, so coming to the interior now of the Kia EV9. It's a pretty different place to be from other Kias. Some things are familiar, like these dual displays. It's got a new operating system. It's extremely snappy. It's pretty incredible. You've also got a new display, which is here. That's for your air conditioning controls. Now, we'll have to see how this goes in real world driving, because right now, my hands are, the right driving position. I can't actually see the screen, so don't know how I feel about that. They used to be here, but you do have these quick toggle buttons here, which should make it totally fine to use anyway. It's just interesting that they've moved it there. You've also got a pretty nice digital instrument cluster up in front of you. You can see a bunch of different stuff. So people who love their tech, you're gonna love it in here. You do have this faux leather steering wheel, and you'll see that's a bit of a theme across this. You've also got your button here to select your autonomous driving level 2. This thing has an even better autonomous driving system than previous Kias that I already really liked in my long-term Sportage. So I'm really curious to see how that works. You've also got your drive mode buttons down here for your normal drive modes, your on-road, and then your terrain modes, which is super duper interesting. The seat has just tightened up on me, so let's talk about that. You get these GT line seats here that do feel pretty interesting because it's not a real leather, but it would 100% fool you. In fact, the whole Hyundai Motor Corporation, who owns Kia, of course, are moving away from leather for more sustainable materials, and a lot of the materials in here, by the way, they are sustainable. Go figure. Or at least sustainable as possible. New for this car is this shifter here with the start-stop button on it. It's an interesting setup. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it, but I guess I kind of liked it in the Hyundai Kona, so can't really complain too much. I love the design of this though. This is so cool. You just got this really cool pattern here, soft touch materials in most places anyway, but the ambient lighting is amazing. You've also got some pretty neat features. For example, the glove box. If we open that, it's felt lined. It opens in just a really interesting way. It just feels like a super premium interior. You're also going to notice this camera here, that's for the digital mirrors. And if you put the car into reverse, it actually zooms out and gives you a wider field of view so you don't scrape the wheels, for example. Just really cool attention to detail that I love. In the center, you have plenty of storage, of course. There's no transmission tunnel, so you can put a full bag there. You've also got these USB buttons down here, very much like Hyundai's products. You press a button and it changes its function. So 2 USB-C ports and a 12-volt socket, which is pretty cool. Here you have a wireless charger, like you would hope. Pull that up. You've got a little bit of storage, but you've got more storage here with these hidden cup holders. By the way, I didn't show you, but the key is pretty cool. It's meant to look like a pebble. So, I don't know, take that as you will. Overall, I really, really like this interior space. We'll have to see how it is functionally to drive, but I can tell you just sitting here, this is by far one of the nicest EV products I have sat in. Kia are doing a really bang up job of their interiors, and this is no different. It feels fantastic. Oh, didn't mention these, oh, touch capacitive buttons with haptic feedback. That's pretty cool. I've also been educated as to what that camera back there is. If you flick this switch, it turns on the digital camera, the rear view camera, just in case you've got things loaded up or you just want to see the person in the car behind you picking their nose in high definition. You've got that. Love to see that. Also, this car does come with Kia's new connected features. So this will get over-the-air updates, which is fantastic. It means that you can have all these really quick, subtle fixes if it needs it. And you have a very bright SOS button here, and that will connect you to a call center in case of an accident or automatically ring. Just really cool, smart features. Also, I know some of you who want to be towing with this thing. It does have a 2.5 ton towing capacity. And the interesting thing is that it's got a very smart system. So when you plug in a trailer, for example, it actually changes the ECU because this thing has an auto leveling rear. It's quite complicated, but essentially it means that it will distribute power to make sure that you're not losing too much range, and also that the rear will be leveled when you are towing something. Very cool. Let's check out the back seats. Okay, so coming to the back now, and it's pretty awesome. They fixed my biggest issue with the Kia EV6 and a lot of EVs, which is leg support, because my legs are actually at a good angle. This thing has stadium style seating. So I am sitting up higher than the driver position. Speaking of, I'm 5'11". I've just got so much leg room, heaps of toe room too, and heaps of headroom, especially with this panoramic sunroof-ish. Split in half. But anyway, it's pretty light and airy in here, and it's just a really comfy place to be. So I am super stoked about that. Finally, we're getting EVs that aren't completely compromised for the rear seats. You do have a couple of cup holders here, which is pretty cool. You've also got a stowage area there. Ooh, that's nice leather. You've got pretty nice folio pockets, USB-C ports in the seats. Of course, a fold down center armrest. Now, you're also going to notice that we have a bench row here, i.e. we have 3 seats in the back. Internationally, you will be able to get this thing with captain's chairs, but they're not doing that here because they're only able to bring in 100 units a month. So if they start bringing those options, it's just a supply chain nightmare. But most families prefer the 3 seats in the back, so I don't think anyone's really complaining. You've also got a Meridian sound system. I didn't mention that. It sounds really good. 14 speaker, by the way. And the seats back here are heated and cooled. You get these little sunshades to block the sun from perving on your kids, and a second zone of climate control. It's not just a second zone, it's a completely separate HVAC system, which is fascinating, and some air vents in the roof. So yeah, it's a really cool place to be. Let's check out the third row. Now, as I said, this thing is pretty massive, especially on the inside. So this is pretty phenomenal. You press a button here, the seat yeets itself forward. So easy to climb into the back. Again, 5'11", I'm a fully grown adult. You pull the seat back. Now, right now, I don't have much space, but I'm gonna get a handy assistant to pull the seat forward, and this is insane. If the rear seat passenger compromises just a little bit, right? There's still plenty of space. You get quite a lot of legroom for a third row, heaps of headroom, and heaps of toe room. Not to mention the amenities back here are amazing. I can recline this seat or make it more vertical if I'm so inclined. You've also got a couple of cup holders here and a USB-C port. You've also got your air vents up here too. But the fact that I can fit back here comfortably as an adult blows my mind. So the packaging in here is really, really good. Very impressed. Okay, so final thoughts on the all-new Kia EV9 before we've had a chance to really test drive this. It will be coming soon again. Make sure you subscribe for that. This thing is extremely impressive. So far, we'll have to see how it drives. But considering Kia are one of the only companies that still do local ride and handling tunes, including for the steering, I just have a very strong suspicion this will ride absolutely incredibly well. But again, we'll have to wait and see. I will say, because this is the only real large 7-seat EV SUV in Australia, it's on its own right now, at least the Tesla Model X. We have no idea what's happening with that. So this thing competes with the Land Cruiser 300 series and also the Nissan Patrol. And yeah, being a monocoque design, an EV, I think it's pretty clear that this is going to be a pretty big favorite for those who want an electric car but still want to do the adventuring. I'm super excited. You guys let me know down in the comment section, what do you think of the Kia EV9? What do you think of some of the design decisions? We'll have to see how some of those go on the interior. Anyway, ciao for now.